In this video, we're going to take a look at binomial expansion again, and we're going to use binomial theorem because it's better in the long run. Trust me. If you use Pascal's triangle, you're kind of limiting yourself to only being able to deal with smaller powers, because in the exam they could give us to the power of 30 and you're not going to have time to write out Pascal's triangle. So get used to using binomial expansion theorem. Learn how to read it. That's the hardest part. Applying it, really simple. In this question, it's different to the last videos that I would have done because we've got now a 2a and a minus 3b. So those are two numbers that we didn't have in there previously. We were dealing with 1a and 1b, or a negative 1b. So the procedure and process is still the same. So remember, binomial theorem, it says that you're going to do the sum of, starting at r is equal to 0, going all the way up to n, doing your n choose r for each one. So your n is going to be what it's to the power of. So in this case, you straight away know that your n is going to be 4. Your r starts at 0 and it just goes all the way up to 4. So you're going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to stop there. Then it's going to be x to the power of n minus r, and then y to the power of r. Again, you already know what n is, and r is just going to change as you move on to the next piece of the question. So it'll start at 0 and it'll go all the way up to 4. Now, applying that, so we're going to start out over here. We're going to have 4 choose 0, because it says start at r is equal to 0. And it's going to be 2a to the power of 4. All of that gets to the power of 4. Your second one doesn't get any of the powers, because it'll be n minus r, which will be 4 minus 0, and then this one will be to the power of 0. Then we're going to have plus, and we're going to have 4 choose 1. So we're just making our way up. The plus, again, came from the sigma, because we're adding them all up. So we're just moving on to the next one and adding it on. 4 choose 1, and then we're going to have 2a to the power of 3 minus 3b to the power of 1. So be careful with those minuses. If you're aware that they're there and you realize that, oh, this question is different, it's straight away you're going to be putting them in brackets. And if you're putting them in brackets, then you're far less likely to make any mistake. Then I go 4 choose 2. Then I go 2a squared minus 3b squared. And then I'm going to have plus, and I'm going to have 4 choose 3. And then I'm going to have 2a to the 1 minus 3b cubed. And then I'm going to write it under here for now. 4 choose 4. 2a to the 0 and minus 3b to the 4. So just go back and check. This 2a starts at 4, goes to 3, goes to 2, goes to 1, goes to 0. While that's happening, this starts at 0, goes to 1, goes to 2, 3, 4. All right. The next little bits then, I'm going to colour coordinate this because there's a lot going on. So I'm going to do this green piece out, and I'm going to work out what that is. I don't have to do it all in one step. I can write it out. So that green piece, if I just break it down for myself, 4 choose 0 is 1. 2a to the 4. So the rule in indices is if you have two things in a bracket, it's raised to a power. Both of those things get raised to the power. So it's going to be 2 to the 4. So 2 squared would be 4, and then 2 cubed would be 8. Multiply that by 2 again, and you get 16. So 16a to the 4. Any number to the power of 0 is 1. So you can just write your 1 down. Then we're going to have our next bit. So I'm going to, again, just colour code it so that we can follow along where I'm getting things from. 4 choose 1. So 4 choose 1 is 4. 2a cubed. 2a cubed is going to be 8a cubed. And then minus 3b to the power of 1. I'm going to keep it in a bracket for a second. It's just minus 3b. When I multiply it out on the next line, that's where I'm going to bring the minus into play. The next piece I have is 4 choose 2. So 4 choose 2 in my calculator is 6. So I'm going to write down plus 6 2a squared is 4a squared minus 3b squared. So if I multiply that out correctly, it's to the power of an even number. If you watch the last video, you know, if it's even, it's always positive. So you're going to have 9b squared. The next piece. And by the way, I'm writing all of these steps out. These are worth marks, right? So even if you totally fumble it at the end, you're picking up a good chunk of the marks along the way. So plus 4 choose 3, 4 by 2a. Now, if it's to the power of an odd number, it's going to be negative. So it's going to stay negative. It's going to be 27b cubed. And then finally, we're going to have 4 choose 4. So I'm going to get the colours here. And I'm going to do red. So the last one in red here, when I write that out, I'm going to get 4 choose 4, which is 1. 2a to the power of 0 is 1. And then I'm going to have minus 3b to the 4. Okay, so that minus, it's to the power of an even number. The quick tip is if it's even, it's positive. So it works out to be positive. 3 to the 4 is 81. B to the power of 4. And now I'm going to go back in and tidy it. I've far less chance of making a mistake now. I'm not trying to do too many things at once. I've broken it down into nice, simple steps for myself. And this is stuff you've done in first or second year, multiplying brackets. So just take your time at this stage. So 1 by 16a to the 4 by 1. 16a to the 4. The next one, 4 by 8 by minus 3. So 4 by 8 is going to give us 32. By minus 3, it's going to be negative. And it's going to be negative 96a cubed b. Right? So you do your numbers together and then you do your letters. The next one is 6 by 4 by 9. If I do that out, I'm going to have 216a squared b squared. Again, you can check that you're on the right track by looking for the powers. Do they always add up to 4? They do so far. Then I'm going to have my purple. And there I'm going to have 4 by 2 by minus 27. So that gives me minus 216. It's minus because I'm multiplying by a negative. It's going to be 216a b cubed. And then my last one here is going to be plus 81b to the 4. So take your time with it, write it out in steps. If you find colouring them helps, do use that strategy. There is a lot going on. I only did to the power of 4. As I said, you could be asked to do to the power of 7, to the power of 8, power of 30. So keep it neat, do it in small steps. Don't try to do too many things at once.